driving around looking for some cheese curds in Wisconsin, and I came upon something that looked really familiar. Firewood Midwest, outside with Shive, the yard. This is the back 40 firewood stand. Let's see if Dan's around. So is this the infamous back 40 Woodyard? Hello! Hello? Bright orange.
Or something? What is going on?
This is sweet.
Welcome to Wisconsin and back 40 Woodyard.
Here we are.
Actually,
I've seen this from so many angles, but never this one.
well, you may as well get it out of the way right now. Tell me that it's a lot smaller in person than it is in the videos.
That's you hear that a lot, don't you?
Yes. Especially when you're dealing with small mini firewood. This is the chaos.
The chaos. I think, we'll talk about this, we'll talk about the woodyard a little bit, but I visited several woodyards now, and everyone's got their own formula for the chaos and managing the chaos.
Organized chaos.
You know where everything is, right? But
maybe.
most of it, yeah. But I'll ask you first, because it actually looks really neat and orderly, and you have to put work into keeping it that way, I've found.
Yeah.
Like the waste and the clutter gets away from you in a hurry. So like,
and just having places like you can see, this pile of stuff is, like out of the way, but I know I got to deal with it. But then I got another pile over there that I want to deal with first. So like things get bumped around and moved around,
and you're getting stuff from tree companies periodically,
Yep.
right? So
mostly
like
just one.
any given moment, they could call you and be like, "We got stuff," and you're like, "Where are you gonna put it?" Yeah.
Yes. So you got to kind of keep it somewhat organized, but just, I like having open space as well. Like before I had trees back here and everything seemed, crammed in. So now I got open space that I don't want to fill up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I keep pushing stuff in the corners and moving stuff around, and I don't know, it works.
I gotta ask, like, first off, just because it is so neat, how are you managing waste? Where's your bark and junk and?
Well, if we walk this way, this little drive around here never existed. And off to the left, even though that looks like dirt, if you look at the side here,
Yeah.
it's
So
all
you're just pushing it all over
scrap.
there. Yeah. So this sloped off, and you just been filling that in.
Yep, it was a ravine, and so I started filling in with. I put logs down, and then I have pallets on top of these logs, and so I just started stacking wood over here, or piling it.
We talked about scrap and cleanliness. Let's talk about organization, because this is something I have zero organization at all. So you have a couple different things that you've done over the years for storing firewood. Let's talk about that a little bit. What's your evolution here?
All right, so over here, you can see is covered stacks. So everything, the one thing I found, and if you look at next to it, the uncovered stack, I just, I like having a supply that I can, if I need to right now, take up to the stand and it's ready to go. It's not wet and grungy looking.
So your uncovered wood gets gray. If it's wet, it gets
And it just
fungus.
gets, it's just not good.
Right.
So I started building these little shelters, and this is all wood that I will sell. And that's kind of what I have piles, but the wood that I burn, I'm not concerned with, how nice it looks. But this stuff here, it's gonna look nice, it's gonna dry actually, season quicker, better. So that's the one thing when I'm separating out wood for myself and wood to sell, I try to keep, the Cadillac wood, the premium wood undercover, and I think it makes it sell better, present better, season better. It's just all around better for it.
And if I'm looking at this, I want to build something similar. It's pretty straightforward. We've got 4x4 posts, right?
It's
You've got some 2x down on the bottom, pallets on top of the 2x, or yeah, 2x6s.
2x6s. It's redneck engineering.
Yeah, and then 2x4 framing for the roofing and some tin on top.
Yep.
Like really simple.
So the pallets even are not. They just they kind of have those built-in slots
For the pallet forks, yeah.
And so those I just spaced the 2x6s to sit in those little channels, and then that way the pallet kind of stabilizes itself, and I don't know. It's just
It's working for you.
it works.
And then your roof is oversized, so you don't get any runoff at all in the wood,
Yep.
and no splashback either on this side, really.
Nope.
And then you've got some totes over here. Were you using totes for anything?
The IBC totes I actually use I guess in a different way than most people. I use them to just move wood around.
Okay.
So no real long storage in the totes. I will in the fall, I will load up from my piles of my wood and I'll take it up to the woodshed. And then I'll put some on the end of a conveyor, fill it up, bring it over here to stack it. So yeah, they're mostly just for moving stuff around.
And you've got some bins next to those made out of pallets, but also have some wire mesh in there holding everything in.
That was before I got the totes. I had to build those.
You built your own tote.
Yep. And that stuff is shorter wood for now the sauna, and then that's just some scrap for kindling.
So
keeping things separated.
So you burn wood in your sauna to heat it?
I burn wood in the boiler. I burn wood in the fire pits. I burn wood in the sauna, and tabletop fire. Yeah. So I'm consuming so much wood. That's why I have to keep making more and more and more.
All right, across the way, you've got, I call them Janky Shelters, but they're very rustic, but I bet they're effective.
They are. So, interesting story. These big sheets of plywood, and they're off of the size of a big pallet, and the pallet was used to build that little shed over there. But I took the sides and I just put some pallets down, and they actually just go into the hillside back there. They're propped up, and it's gravity is the only thing holding them together. It is, again, a little redneck, but keeps the rain off, keeps the snow off, and keeps the wood, I think helps it dry. I can only do so much covered here, and that pile now is not covered, but it'll be fine.
And I think you get a bit of shade here. Which way does the sun move? Yeah, okay, so you get through the middle of the day.
Yep.
But afternoon sun is shaded, right, over here? Yeah, so anything you can do to keep that wood dry is going to help it, because you're not getting full sun.
Right.
And then you got the big shed.
Yep, that's the big wood shed.
How much wood will that hold?
Not enough.
That's the right answer all the time. Never enough wood.
So that was the pallet that my neighbor had. His company had some big piece of machinery come in from Germany, and they had to get rid of that pallet. So my cousin came up. We built this on top of it. And
so one big industrial pallet became the floor of this shed.
Yep. And now it's full of all the wood that I will sell. Again, this is just all for recreational selling. And then, of course, in the end is supply of the mini firewood. The latest venture.
You say mini firewood. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I've only just started into this idea. I didn't even know it existed until just a couple months ago.
It's a big thing. Little wood is a big thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So for those who don't know, who uses little wood?
Tabletop fire pits. Smokeless tabletop fire pits, like the Solo stoves, and there's 30 different brands.
Yeah, if you go on Amazon or anywhere and search tabletop fire pit, tabletop smokeless fire pit, you'll see there are dozens of brands out there.
Here, let's go over here and I'll show the center. The heartbeat of the mini firewood operation is actually inside here. And so we've got right here we've got a bag of cherry. And then we got some oak. But yeah, this is these are your pieces of mini firewood.
So doing about 5-inch long, 5-inch by 1-inch little mini splits. And here's
right
the production center.
That's the production center.
Production center.
The little boss man goes to town on some chunks that I give him, and splits them up.
So this tote of chunks, is this going to be mini fire
Yep.
pit?
So the one thing
you
I
cutting
found,
these on your Yappa?
yes, and that's what makes me, or that's what really helps get the consistent length
Yeah.
each time. In the beginning, I was doing it all by hand, and I would get like 4-inch, 5-inch, 5.5, 6, and now I've kind of zoned in my process. Wood.
So I made a little bit of mini fire pit wood, and I haven't sold any yet, but you have actually started packaging this up and selling it online and shipping it.
Yes.
Is that right? So tell us a little bit
Yep.
about that, and if somebody wants some mini fire pit wood, how do they get it?
Back40minifirewood.com or back40firewood.com. You can get it there either way in the store. It was just, and to be able to ship it, I had to go through the USDA and get certified. So like eventually all of these splits get sent away to be heat treated.
Okay.
Then I get them back, and then once they're heat treated, I can ship them. But I season everything first. So that's kind of like
The heat treatment is a relatively short cycle,
yep,
versus kiln drying could be much longer if
yep,
you're drying green wood.
Heat treatment is just for killing off any bugs, larvae, anything
Right.
that's on the wood. So the heat treatment, I had to get certified to do that, and then I can now ship it anywhere in the US. And I also have available little racks to hold your mini firewood now.
Right.
That-
Just released.
Just released.
Yeah.
So you can set up your tabletop fire pit, put your rack next to it of your wood on display, and sit there on your patio and have endless conversations with people coming by and saying, "What is this?"
Yeah. So I do see that. I don't have one yet, but I see the benefits. If you're in a city or a confined neighborhood, you can't have a big fire pit. It makes sense for those users, but it also makes sense, I think, on kind of extending your fire pit season, especially for those of us further south where, in the middle of July, middle of June, we don't want to have outdoor fires. It's too hot. But I think I could gather around a mini fire pit because it's not really radiating that
Just
much
the
heat.
flame.
You want the ambiance, you want the smell, you want to hear the crackle.
Yeah.
And I think that would actually be nice. I want to get a hold of one so I can kind of experience it.
Everyone that I've talked to that had their doubts, including me, I had my doubts, but once you sit around one, it's, yeah, you don't have the heat, you don't have the smoke, and you have a nice flame to look at, and it's just fun. it's awesome.
Yeah. So
Good time.
back40minifirewood.com.
That's right.
Get your mini firewood shipped to you from Wisconsin.
Right
from
here.
Dan.
Not this one yet, though. This is going to be a while till this dries.
For people watching at home who kind of want to get into the firewood business or want to do more production, what are your kind of key lessons learned or feedback you would give to somebody starting out who wants to expand their firewood operation?
Start now. Start right now, but don't be concerned with like selling right now, because build your inventory.
Yeah.
It's the main thing where everyone goes wrong is they want the quick dollar and they don't have the patience. You got to be patient.
Guilty.
Build your supply, get it seasoned, because if you sell to a customer ready to burn seasoned firewood, they will be back. They'll be back for more, and they will keep coming back.
Yeah, I agree. I'm guilty. As soon as wood is ready to sell, I'm selling it and it's gone. Then I'm like, yeah, I got to turn people away. I don't have seasoned wood. So guilty of that. Good feedback for sure. Thanks. Well, thanks for showing us around your yard, Dan. I enjoyed it. I learned a couple of things along the way. Hopefully you guys did too. Till next time, hope you have a good one. See you on the next video.